Hi everyone, and welcome to this practice where we're going to be focusing on the eagle and the tree. And those two poses are very related to each other, and we can learn how to do each pose when we practice them together. So eagle teaches us to hug into the midline. So if you imagine the midline as a line drawn between the center of your body, an eagle, we wrap our arms and we wrap our legs, and it's forcing us to hug into the midline. But the thing is, we can hug into the midline in any pose, even if our legs are apart. So by doing eagle pose and wrapping our arms and legs and then opening up into like warrior three or tree pose, you might find that you have more of a sense of being grounded and expanded and finding that balance that we're all seeking that makes things easier and is really the most beneficial way to live our life, to live a life in balance. So let's start first by closing our eyes and just move your torso around a little bit. Focus on the fullness of the inhale and the freedom of the exhale. And begin to move your body back and forth in little cat-cow spinal waves. At the inhale, fill you up and pull you forward. And the exhale, contract and push you back. Open your eyes, come back to neutral, reach your arms up into a cactus position, press your elbows forward and lift up through your chest, and then wrap the left elbow underneath the right, bringing your palms together or the back of your hands together so you're hugging in. Take a big inhale, sweep your elbows up, spread your arms apart, coming back into cactus, and then wrap the right arm underneath, the left elbow on top. On your next inhale, again, expand up and upward, open and upward, and then wrap the right elbow on top, left elbow under. Inhale, lift up, separate the arms, and then wrap the right arm under, the left elbow on top. And just keep repeating and see if you can switch the elbow that's on top and just get used to this feeling of wrapping the arms, hugging the midline. Just by this wrap, it hugs us in. And how does that feel? Do you feel almost a little more grounded and centered just by this movement and this concept of hugging in? One more each side. So then open up and just gently roll out the shoulders in both directions. Now let's turn and place our feet on the floor with our hands behind us. Fingers can be pointed any direction you want. And we're going to play with wrapping the legs. So first, on your inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale, lower down, cross your right knee above the left knee. Either squeeze the outer ankles together or hook. Hug your knees into your chest. And then unwrap and lift. Lower down, cross the left knee on top, lift up, wrap and squeeze in, and open up, lift up. Exhale, lower down, left knee on top, wrap and hug, open up, lift up, and lower down, bring the right knee on top, wrap the legs, squeeze in, unwrap, and lift. One more time, wrap the left knee on top, hug in, and unwrap, and lift. So now lower your hips down, spin your hands so they face away from your hips. We're going to do a little animal flow. So just lift your butt up a little bit off the floor. Hug the midline with your arms and squeeze your legs in. So you get a little extra lift there. And then pick your right foot up and your left hand up. Bring your right knee underneath and stretch back for down dog splits. Hug the right knee in, spin on your left foot. Bring your right foot down, your left hand down, and pick the right hand up, the left knee up. Lift and spin, and stretch back. Come back, and we'll just spin back from the direction we came, and just do a couple more of these. See if you can find a nice kind of swiveling motion. Just switching hands, switching legs. So one hand's off the mat to do these down dog splits. We're not trying to end up with both hands on the mat. Good. Come on back down. Slowly lower onto your backs. Hug your knees into your chest. And start to just circle your knees around, letting your hips rock, giving your low back a little massage and your glutes a little massage. Just keep this movement going, nice, easy, flowing movement. And reverse the direction of the circles. Again, just keeping nice, fluid movement. Warming your back up. Now place your feet on the floor and cactus your elbows. And we're going to eagle eyes our arms and our legs. So lift your right knee up, cross it over, hook, and bring the right elbow underneath, wrap your arms, tap, and release. Left knee crosses on top, left arm underneath, lift and tap, release, and open up. We'll do that a few more times. So right knee on top, right elbow underneath, lift and tap, open up. Left knee on top, left elbow underneath, lift and tap. One more time, each side, open up. Cross the right knee on top, the right elbow underneath, lift and tap. Open up. Bring the left knee on top, left arm underneath, lift and tap. Open up, hug your knees into your chest. And hold the back of your legs and begin to rock forward and back. This nice, easy movement. So you could hug into the midline with your legs. And then see if you can float up. Pull your legs in towards your chest. Lift your legs up. Hug your feet together. You can keep your hands on the back of your legs, or you can release them. You can keep your knees bent, or you can straighten your legs. Navasana boat pose. Expand, lift, hug in. And lower your feet down. Shift yourself into a squat. Press your elbows out into your knees and hug your knees into your elbows. Lengthen through your spine. Nice, lower your hands down. Step back into tabletop. First, just slide your hips from side to side. Feeling a gentle swaying motion. Just let your body kind of feel the movement. And come back to center and we'll do some spinal waves. So starting with your tailbone, lift up, sink the ribs down, hug the arms in, lift the chest forward and lift the chin up. Squeeze the midline. And starting at the tailbone, bottom of the pelvis, tuck under, round your spine, push into the floor, hug in. Then start from the opposite end, tailbone lifting up and rippling forward into cow pose. And then tucking the tailbone and rounding up into cat. If you give yourself even a little bit of hugging in toward the midline with your arms and your legs, you might find that this actually becomes a little more fluid. And tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back to down dog, bending your knees deeply. Lift up through the ribs, lift up through your whole body, whole upper body. And then ripple forward into plank again. And back to down dog. A couple more times, nice and slow and smooth. And keeping your knees bent, pivot your knees to the left. And just do little kind of bounces here, pulsing. And lift up and pivot your knees to the right. Again, sinking and lifting. And pivot your knees to the left again. Bend and kind of unbend your legs a little bit, not totally straight. And then pivot knees to the right. And now we're going to play with, you can continue doing this, or you can play with eagle-eying your legs and coming into like a side plank with your legs and eagle. So pick your left knee up, your knees are to the left, pick your left knee up, keeping your knees really bent. Wrap your right leg around your left leg and reach your hips up, reach your arm up. Notice how this feels. Maybe you feel a little more buoyant from that. The legs are just hugging in. And bring your hand down, uncross your legs, pivot over, knees to the right, bring your right knee on top, and lift your hips up, reach your arm up. And lower down, we'll do one more time each side. So unwrap your legs, pivot your knees to the left, bend deeply, cross your left knee on top, maybe hook your toes or not, and push into your hand, lift your hips up, reach your arm up. Come on back down, unwrap your legs, pivot to the right, right knee on top, keeping the knees bent, reach your arm up, reach your hips up, and lower back down, unwrap, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Come up onto your fingertips. And we're going to just play with the positioning of our feet, the way the weight is distributed on our feet. So first, pull your toes up towards your shins. And then tilt your weight forward, lift your heels up, like you're drawing your heels up to your hips. Slowly lower the heels down, lift the whole front of the foot up. Spread the toes. Keep the toes spreading as you lower down, lift the heel up. Lower the heels down, lift the front of the foot up. Really squeeze, like try and lift your toes towards your shins. So it feels like an effort. And sprinkle the toes down and roll your feet outward. So you're inverting your ankles. You're on the outer edge of your foot. And roll the foot inward, so you're everting the ankles and just go back and forth, rock back and forth. And then plant down firmly through your feet. Squeeze your legs toward the midline. Press into the earth and slowly roll your way up to stand. Reach your arms up and interlace your fingers. Reach your palms toward the sky as you reach your tailbone down. Then spreading your arms like wings, flex your wrists and slowly lower down. And like you're gathering energy from the earth, interlace your fingers, rising up, rotate the palms, press up, and spread out. One more time like that. Lifting up, rotating, pushing the energy up, and expanding it outward. Next time when your hands lower down, as you reach your arms up, pull your left knee up, squeeze it into your chest, open up, external rotation, place your foot as high up on your leg as you can and spread your arms out nice and wide. Draw the tailbone down. Slowly lower your arms and your foot down. Inhale, pull the right knee up. Squeeze it in, lift up. Externally rotate your foot. Hug the midline with your foot and your leg. Right foot hugging in, left leg hugging in, and slowly lower down. Release your arms. Let's try that a couple more times. So inhale, pull the left knee up. Externally rotate, tree pose, reach up. And slowly lower down. Shift your weight into your left foot. Pull your right knee up. Squeeze in, hug in, open up. And slowly lower down. Bend your knees, sit, sink your hips back. Utkatasana chair pose. And then just rock forward and back. So we're lifting the front of the feet up, lifting the heels up. And play with the positioning of your pelvis. And if you step back a little bit, that's okay. It just means you're kind of playing with the edges. Good. And then staying in your Utkatasana, lift your right knee up, cross your right knee above the left knee, hug your legs into each other, either outer ankles together or hook your toes. Sink down a little lower. And then lift your knee up. Come back into your tree pose. Open up. Slowly lower down. Utkatasana chair pose again. Pick your left heel up, cross your left knee on top, hook the arm, hook the legs, and then unwrap, rise up in tree pose, and lower down. Again, roll out the shoulders. Maybe we'll just do a little bouncing, a little shaking around. Let the shoulders relax. Shake out the hands. Nice. And come back into your Tadasana, mountain pose. And we'll add on from here. So we'll come into eagle, open up into warrior three, come back into tree pose, and back to eagle. Okay, so first notice the weight in your feet. And see if you can ground down through the mound of the big toe, the mound of the pinky toe, and the center of the heel. So the feet are active and the arches are lifting. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, reach up. Lift your left foot up, cross your left knee on top of the right, hug in or hook, and then bring the left elbow in, wrap the right arm on top, eagle-eyes your arms, sink down, squeeze in. And as you come up, reach your arms out to the side, reach your leg back. Imagine you're flying like an eagle. Then pull your knee in. As you reach up, find your tree pose. Expand here. And cactus your elbows, bend your right knee, wrap your left knee on top again. Bring the left elbow underneath, wrap the right arm on top, and sink down. As you lift up, pull your knee back up. Maybe extend your leg, and slowly lower down. And release. So that was a lot of work on one side, but hopefully you get that feeling the more you hug into the midline, not to overdo it, but just to hug it enough that it kind of roots you down a little bit more and lifts you up simultaneously. So now Utkatasana chair pose again. Lift your right heel up, cross your right knee above the left knee. Maybe hook the toes, maybe not. Bring the left elbow in, wrap the right arm underneath, and sink down. Hugging the midline, squeeze in. Then as you expand, open up back into warrior three. And then pull your arms up, pull your knee up, open up tree pose. Again, bend your left knee, bring the right knee on top, and wrap the arms. Wrap the left arm underneath. Sink down. And then as you reach up, pull your knee up. Maybe extend your leg forward. And slowly lower down. And release. All right, so our mind craves spontaneity and new things, but we also need to be able to practice and get used to things and repeat, and that's how we kind of gain a new skill. So let's play with that again. Utkatasana chair pose, sink down. Pick your left knee up, cross it over the right, hook and squeeze. And bring the left arm under, wrap, hug in. As you inhale and lift up, uncross your legs, stretch back, reach your heart forward, squeeze the legs in. And bend your knee, reach your arms up, reach your knee up, open up tree pose. Again, sink down, bend your knees, left knee over the right, left elbow under the right. Sink down. And as you rise up, pull your knee up. Maybe stretch your leg forward and slowly lower down. Again, inhale, pull the right knee up, bend the left knee, cross your right knee on top, cross the right elbow underneath, sink down. And then inhale, open up. Warrior three. Bend your knee, reach your arms up, pull your knee up, open up tree pose. Bend your knees, cross the right knee on top, right elbow underneath. Sink down into eagle. Inhale, reach up again. Pull your knee up, maybe straighten your leg. And slowly lower down. And relax. So now let's play with a nice flow. Playing with the warriors and just noticing if there's a little extra fluidity, a little extra stability as we move through something maybe a little more familiar. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Hug the midline with your arms and your legs. Keep the shoulders lifting as you slowly lower down. Point your toes, press the top of your feet into the floor. Curl up into your cobra, hug in. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes. Press back to down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, squeeze your knee in and step forward. Open up, warrior two. Reach up, bring your left hand behind your back, reach your right arm over. And from here, straighten your front leg. Reach forward, find your Trikonasana triangle pose. Release your left arm up. Sweep your left arm back and then down and forward, floating up into standing splits. Yeah, you can stay here, or you can stack your hips and find your half moon. So even here, think of squeezing the inner thighs toward each other, opening up, lifting up, and lower your left hand down. Step back, reach your right leg back up into down dog splits. And lower your leg down. Let's play with the other side. So inhale, sweep the left leg up and back. Reach up high on your right, tiptoes, reach your left leg toward the sky, and then squeeze your knee into your chest. And lightly step your foot forward. Open the back foot up. Warrior two, reach up and back. Straighten the front leg here. Reach all the way forward, keeping your legs super active. Opening across the chest. Float your right arm up. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Tuck the glutes underneath you, and then reach your right hand down, step into your left foot. Standing splits. Bowing over your leg. And then your choice if you want to come into half moon, really stack the hips, engage your legs, open up. Find that sense of buoyancy and expansion. And lower your right hand down. Step your right leg back, swing your left leg back up into down dog splits. Lower back down, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, so we'll repeat what we did earlier. So bend your knees, pivot your knees to the left, cross your left knee on top, maybe hook your toes, and lift up and expand. Now you can stay here, or you could unwrap your legs and step back into Wild Thing. And come back into your downward facing dog. Pivot your knees to the right. Cross the right knee on top. Eagle-eyes your legs. Side, like a side angle, side plank with your legs in eagle. And then if you want, you can unwrap that leg, step it behind you, lift up into your Wild Thing. Open up here. And come back to downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the floor. Sit back on your heels in child's pose. Relax here. And inhale, round forward onto your hands and knees and begin to cat-cow. Even here, think of hugging your arms in, hugging your legs in, so your muscles are a little more engaged. Not so much that you can't move, but enough so that maybe the the flow feels like it moves a little further and maybe has a little more of a natural flow to it. Tuck your toes, press back into down dog. And walk your feet forward, coming into a squat. Press the elbows out, hug the knees in. Lengthen as much as you can through your spine. And slowly lower your hips down, hug in, and we'll come into Navasana again, boat pose. So you hug your legs in, and you could, if you reach your arms up, it kind of throws you back a little bit, but see if you can hug in and find even more lift. And then bend your knees, lower your knees down, and slowly lower onto your back. Gently hug your knees into your chest. Circle your ankles both directions. Then shift your hips over to the right. We're going to do a twist. So stretch the left leg out, bring the right leg up. Grab the outside of your right leg with your left hand and open your right arm out to the side. And then we're going to twist our lower body to the left, so you end up on the left side. But the upper body is twisting back to the right. You can even turn your head to the right. You can wiggle your shoulders around a little bit so you find a comfortable place. And if you want, you could bend your left knee, grab for your left foot with your right hand, and we'll just stay here for about 8 or 9 or 10 breaths. If you were holding your left foot, release it now. And then bend both knees so your right knee is on top of the left. Come back onto your back and hook your arms and your legs. Eagle-eyes your legs. And bring the right elbow in, wrap the left arm on top. Press your palms together and lift and tuck and tap. And lower your fingers and your toes to the ground. Exhale, lift and tap. Inhale, lower. One more time. Exhale, lift and tap. Inhale, lower. Unravel your arms and legs. Shift your hips to the left. Straighten your right leg out. Lift your left leg up and bring your left leg across your body. Nice and slow. Stretch out your bottom leg. And if you want, you could play with bending your knee, grabbing your foot, and trying to twist your upper body to the left as your lower body twists to the right. And we'll stay here again about 8 to 10 breaths. Breathing nice and slow. Let your breathing slow down. Let your mind become, well, we say empty, but the mind is never empty. So just let the mind be focused on the present moment. If you're holding your right foot, you can release it, straighten your right leg out. And then bend both knees, roll back onto your back. This time the left knee is going to be on top. You can center your hips, draw your knees in, and maybe hook your toes. Bring the left elbow in, wrap the right arm on top. Press the hands together. Take an inhale and stretch your arms and your legs apart from each other. And then exhale, hug in and tap. Inhale, reach and lower. Exhale, tap. Inhale, open. Exhale, tap. Unwrap your arms and legs and find your happy baby. Gently rock from side to side. Now release your feet, lower your feet to the floor. wide apart. Let your knees rest in on each other. We'll just do a very short savasana, just slowing down the time to completely surrender, even if it's just for a little bit. You're always welcome to stay longer. We tend to rush around so much. It's nice to give ourselves permission to slow down, let go of control, relax any tension that might be remaining. And just slowly turn your head from side to side. And then pull your knees up into your chest. Rock up to a comfortable seat. Or you could stay in your savasana. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you got used to that wrapping and unwrapping and that sensation of hugging in and just noticing the power that comes with that. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.